thank you so much for being with Skin Seeds. And Skin Seeds, just to put a plug in there, is a mindful skincare line sharing mindful products and practices. So if you all are interested in the brand, please follow, check us out, Skin Seeds. And currently we're doing a harvest time. Harvest time is when we sell our seeds, which is also products. And we do those during scheduled designated times. And I know that you tried out one of our seeds, which is the cultivation clay mask. Thank you so much. The cultivation clay mask. That's my baby. Okay, that's something I've been using for a long time. And a lot of the seeds that I'm going to be sharing with everyone are products that I really do use. I've been using for a long time. And I researched them. I've talked to my friends that are in pharmaceutical science to make sure the formulation is right. You know, this is a homegrown brand, and I'm just very thoughtful and mindful and intentional with what I'm putting out there, because I know how I was when I first started my skincare journey. I didn't have time to be wasting money on products that had this much in there and then didn't work for me because I wasn't able to stay consistent because they weren't providing information behind the product. I feel like a lot of what the topic of this live is actually is like how I feel like fast fashion is influencing the skincare industry, because everyone in this time wants to have their own business. So you just go to a manufacturer, they might already have like a stock, a bulk of skincare products, and all you have to do is just slap your label up there and just do marketing, so you can market it out there with no intent on really helping people's issues. Like, what are your thoughts on some of these skincare brands that are coming out, especially homemade ones? Because I fall into that category. Yeah. Like, be honest and then give feedback on that.
So the funny thing is, when you brought up the topic, it's really funny how like information flows, and I swear that the Mark Zuckerbergs and the Google heads and all of these people, I swear they are looking into my brain, because everything keeps coming. Because it's so funny when you mentioned that this is what you wanted to talk about. I had just watched a video on YouTube where gosh, what is her name? I think her name is Leah Yu, and she's the owner of Crave Beauty. And she did a video on why her brand doesn't come out with, you know, a new product. And I think she was saying, I think it was a video from last year, and she was talking about how she didn't want to, not that she didn't want to, she wasn't going to come out with new products that year. And I'm listening to her explanation and about the ethics and, you know, the carbon footprint. And the funny thing is, I never would have thought that skincare would be produced so quickly. New skincare launches would be produced so quickly, like fast fashion would. Like, even now that it's happening, it just seems so crazy to me. But again, everything comes from the trends that you see on Instagram and YouTube. So as much as it baffles my mind, I'm also not surprised, because you know, the bottom line is everyone's trying to make a dollar. But I do think that, you know, as much as we complain about it in the makeup industry, with so many launches coming out, and you know, the carbon footprint and how much waste we have, and you know, how much we're putting into the planet and what we're doing to our planet, it's like, is it worth it? You know, like I'm not 1,000% versed into like environmental studies and things like that. But today, again, because I feel like everybody's in my brain, I watched a video where they talked about how the pollen and the allergy season was man-made, because at some point, maybe like in the 1940s or maybe even before that, they were taking, you know, they have the male trees and the female trees. So because of something where I think they didn't want to pay for the labor to clean up, because the male pollen would shoot out to the female and it would catch it. Or, like I said, I ain't well versed in the
I'm picking it up a little bit.
Right. So something to do with cost, or, you know, I'm pretty sure it had to do with cost. They didn't want to have like the labor of having to, you know, do all this extra stuff. And they were, you know, the US was building and mass producing. So they were kind of cloning these male trees. They were all of these male trees, not a lot of the female trees. and the male trees are just with the pollen.
Mm.
And then that's how we have our allergy season. And some of these trees are starting to sprout up from fall. So it's like, you know, the summers are starting early, like the nicer
Yeah.
weather seasons are starting earlier. They're lasting longer. And these trees are just like, and it's all man-made. Like, it's all something that, you know, not we, but, you
Yeah,
know,
not we,
a
but
couple
somebody.
generations before us
Yeah,
did. And then
and we're
even
paying for
sometimes
it now.
right. And even sometimes you hear about like all of these new viruses that come out, especially, you know, the current one that we're dealing with now.
Yeah.
A lot of it comes from humans and deforestation because you're interrupting the home of bats. And then these bats are flying around and then they
Getting
contaminate the food
eaten.
of the pigs. And then you got all of these things.
They're trying to get rid of them by making bat soup. I mean,
Right.
it's a lot. It's a lot that generations now and generations prior to us, that we're having to pay for environmentally and economically, socially. It's a lot of things that we just have to keep going backwards and move forwards, only to have to go backwards to fix what we
Right.
move forward on, without like just taking a moment and stopping, like we're kind of doing right
Right.
now in this moment. And hopefully the earth will reach some type of, I don't think it will get balanced, but I really believe that the approach of what's essential in our lives and what we use will be highlighted during this time of like being in quarantine. And
Yeah.
during this time, like with Skin Seeds, I mentioned that we share mindful practices and products. So I don't know if you remember, I remember talking with you, I think, about my skincare routine and how I do like so many different steps, right? Well, that has since changed because when I moved, I had to get rid of a lot of different things, and I was just going through different stages of my life of like what's essential in my life. How can I narrow it down? How can I really like solve my problems and be consistent? Not problems, but like my problem areas with my skin, and then also maintain my skin. And I was like, what's my essential skincare routine? Can I break it down less
Mm-hmm.
than 8 steps and still get the
Yeah.
job done? And it took me on a journey of realizing I had to fix a lot of things within my diet. You know, I would do certain things like, oh, I'll just, I'll drink a little bit more wine than normal. I'll just drink more water to like cancel it out. That's like my
Yeah.
rationale of thinking. But once I cut out certain things, even though I got to cut out some things now, coffee, I don't know what's going on, but I'm addicted to it right now. But
Yeah.
like when you treat the underlying problem, which is more majority of the time your diet, less
Mm-hmm.
things are needed in your life, like less medications. You might be
Mm-hmm.
treating medications for inflamed joints, but if you quit pork and different things that's causing your joints to inflame, you won't have to use that medication. So within skincare, I've been thinking about the essentials, and I want to ask you, what would be your essentials? How many steps are in your skincare routine right now? And how how much can you knock it down? What will be your essentials that you
I
could
feel
not live
like
without?
right now, I think I'm about to sneeze, but it doesn't want to come out. In the morning, I only have 4 steps. So I cleanse,
Okay.
then I put my vitamin C serum, then I
Hmm.
moisturize. Oh, I'm put my hands up. Then I moisturize, and then I put sunscreen, and then I put sunscreen on. So in the morning, I
Yeah.
only have the 4 steps. In the
Hmm.
evening, it depends on, like tonight, I'm going to have more steps than normal because I'm going
Hmm.
to oil cleanse. That's one. Then I'm going to use my regular gel-based cleanser. So that'll be 2.
Hmm.
Then I'm going to put on my retinol serum. So that's step
Yeah.
3.
Hmm.
Um, Actually, no. No. I missed a couple of steps. In the morning, I also do eye cream. So in the morning, I have 5 steps.
Okay. Okay.
Then I'll put my eye cream, and then I'll put my nighttime moisturizer. So yeah, 5 and 5.
Okay. All right. That's
Yeah,
cool. I feel like that's the least I can get it down to,
yeah.
because I need something to, in the morning time. I'll wash my face with just a oil cleanser, and
Mhm.
then I'll go behind that. And I like the oil I use right now, the Palmer's oil, and it's like it has rose hip in there. So I really
Mhm.
like using rose hip oil. So I'll rinse it off, and some oil
Mhm.
will still remain. After that, I'm using like a lavender essential oil, and I'll mix
Hmm.
that with water, and I'll just put that on my face because lavender is a great antibacterial, it's great for
Hmm.
moisturizing, and I just love the smell. And then
Yeah, and
after
it's
that,
very
I would just put
calming. It's like,
very,
oh,
right? I
yeah,
know. And I just like it's like already a fragrance. I'll put that on my face and put it on my edges too.
yes.
One and done, you know. But what I notice is like the stuff that I use, I can use it in my hair and on my face. So I find myself like in the morning, if I'm wetting my face with my oil, I'm wetting my hair. And then after that, I rinse it off. I put my essential oil on my hands and I'm putting in my edges and my scalp. And then I'll mix it with water and put it on my face. And then after that, I'll just use a rosehip oil, something simple, and I'm out. Or if like I'm out in the sun, and down south the sun is not a game, I make a carrot
Yeah.
oil.
Hmm.
Carrot oil is great for a sunscreen, so I've been using that as a sunscreen, and I'll put that over my body. But it's difficult making that carrot oil, girl. I'm trying to figure that out
Yeah.
because I want to share that. And then in the evening, as you said, it's a little bit more steps because you have to make sure you're taking off the makeup. So I'm using makeup remover wipes, even though I know I have to find something else because I need to research as to why people tell me they're so bad for me, unless you know.
Well, I could tell you a couple reasons why. Now, well, for one, some of them, if they're not wet enough, I find that you have to tug on the skin a little bit more to
Yeah.
get the makeup off,
Hmm.
and that can be a little irritating for some skin types.
Yeah.
Um, Two, some people kind of think, all right, I'm one and done, and it's like, no, you still got stuff on your face. You still got to wash your face and move
Hmm.
on through your routine. And then
Hmm.
three, the makeup wipes themselves don't degrade. So they're bad. They
Um,
can be bad for the environment. Now there's
mm.
some. I think there are brands that have the ones that are biodegradable. I'm not familiar with them. I try. The only time I use makeup wipes is like if it's sent to me. And I like
Mm.
makeup wipes, like, because when I used to do swatches, that was
Mm.
easy to get the makeup off my hand and then
Yeah.
put more swatches. But I don't even do that much. I don't even do that at all.
So
So,
what do you do to remove your makeup? Just the oil?
no, I'm talking about when I do makeup on my hand.
Oh, makeup swatch. Yeah.
Maybe when I do
Okay.
makeup swatches. But I haven't done
Mm.
makeup swatches in probably a
Yeah.
year. So,
Yeah.
yeah, but when I remove
So
it from my face, I do use a facial oil.
okay. Yeah. And we had a
Yeah.
question earlier. Someone